Hey Joe. Okay, so I am finally getting myself in order, and I'm doing the last of the stragglers of the watch jobs that have drifted in since I stopped actively taking work. So I've got your 6309 here. You bought this watch brand new at Fort Bragg when you were Special Forces in the 80s, and you have worn this ever since then. So this watch has been through everything with you, tour duty and all kinds of stuff. And you recently went into a hot tub with this watch and it got foggy and then stopped running, and then the local watch people said, no, we can't fix it, it's done. I jump started it. The moisture did a little bit of a number on the pinion for the fourth wheel, which is what the second hand sits on. And once I got that moving, it started kicking in. The numbers are actually pretty decent. Pretty decent. These numbers, they aren't bad. I mean, I don't know, you don't mention service history on this thing, but the watch has lubrication under the cap jewel, and this amplitude is not bad. Hang on just one second. Sorry about that. So it's running, these are pretty respectable numbers. I mean, it could be a little higher. But I mean, this is a clean signal, not a lot of beat error. It's gaining some time, but this number right here, this is amplitude. This is how far back and forth the balance is turning. This tells us how much power is making it out of the mainspring and through the gear train to the pallet fork, which is then flicking the balance back and forth. And that's this number here, degrees of rotation. And that's pretty decent, especially for a watch that got a little bit of moisture in it. Your seals are ancient. Your case-back seal is totally flat. That's supposed to be an O-ring, and that one's flattened down. I'm sure the crown is no better. But, you know, it's a real good place to start. Your numbers are respectable. Hang on now. So let's flip this over. Let's talk about your watch. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You've got lubrication under this cap jewel, which is a good thing. Let me look at something here. I want to look at your lower mainspring arb report. That's pretty worn. Okay, so you see this screw head right here? That screw sits on top of the axle that the entire mainspring barrel turns on. It's called the arbor. So the arbor here, this axle, it sits in the top in a steel bushing, but in the bottom, the stainless steel arbor is just sitting in a brass plate. So as this wears, it turns and turns and turns, it grinds out that hole down below, and it turns it from a round hole into an oval. And then the whole thing can tip over, and you start losing all kinds of power. So if you watch that screw head, see that move? That's the whole axle moving. The lower port is all blown out, and that's real typical. That's not unusual at all. So that's definitely something that we can address. I can machine that out, and we put in a jewel that I have made in Switzerland just for us. I think the biggest thing we have going on, obviously it's a runner. The biggest thing we have going on is your handset. Do you want to address this? Your dial isn't bad. I cleaned that up. That'll look fine. Do you want me to clean up this handset, or do you want to leave it be? That, I think, is the biggest question. I mean, we do a good cleaning on this watch, and it'll be fine. I mean, everything else is functional. Crown screws down. It really needs a case rebuild, and I mean, it's obviously a runner. You let me know what you want done. Because, I mean, the numbers are not bad. I mean, you could potentially get away with just having me do a case rebuild and an adjustment. Well, those numbers aren't great. That's pretty low. That's a little low. I guess my recommendation would probably be to do a service on it and repair that lower mainspring arb port, do a case rebuild with all new seals, probably replace this crystal because that one's scratched up. And then we have to decide what you want done with the loom on these hands. Because I can relume these and clean them up a little bit, though the metal is pretty hazy and it's likely to stay that way for the most part, but it would definitely be improved. I don't know. It's nice to see it. So you tell me what you want done, okay? And I'll do it. Okay.